Hello, people. So, Africa today is plagued with some very bad leadership. And with the recent passing of Mandela, I got to thinking about Africa's greatest leadership from the past. Let's take a quick look at some of the continent's greatest revolutionaries. Alhaji Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, nicknamed the Golden Voice of Africa for his brilliant oratory skills. You've heard of him, right? A natural-born teacher and leader, Tafawa Balewa was the only prime minister of an independent Nigeria and a vocal advocate for the rights of northern Nigeria. And not just in Nigeria, he was a vocal advocate in several political crises happening throughout Africa during his time. But unfortunately, he was murdered in a military coup in 1966, with his body being found on the side of a Lagos road. Can you believe the murder to this day is still not resolved? Here's an old clip of Tafawa Balewa speaking in London after Nigeria gained its independence.
Well, I take it that being able to leave your country within only 2 or 3 days of its independence is a sign of confidence in the administration you leave behind.
Oh, everything is, I think I would say, though people say nothing is perfect, but I think everything is perfect at home. We haven't got any trouble whatsoever.
Well, the same, unfortunately, can hardly be said for the United Nations. Do you hope to be speaking to the General Assembly yourself?
I hope to, yes.
I don't know whether you noticed a remark made by Mr. Nehru the other day, that when a neutral country joins a neutral bloc, it ceases to be neutral.
Exactly. I entirely agree with him. I told reporters in Lagos the same thing yesterday evening. They said, well, what about the neutralist group? I said, well, they are committed.
So what kind of neutralism do you envisage? You really think it's going to be possible?
I don't like this idea of neutrality. I don't like the word, you know. I think it's the wrong word.
How do you hope to maintain your real independence of the political world?
We want to pursue an independent view.
Such an eloquent speaker, right? Next is Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, right? He's a must mention, a pure 20th century African revolutionary. Nkrumah was Ghana's first president. He advocated and organized the country out of colonial rule and into an independent nation in 1957, making Ghana the first African sub-Saharan country to gain independence. Nkrumah was highly influenced by Pan-Africanists such as Marcus Garvey and C.L.R. James, whom he spent time with while studying in the U.S. These guys would have a lasting effect on Nkrumah's ideas for the development of Africa. Whoop, whoop. Anyway, here's a clip of the fiery speech Nkrumah gave on the eve of Ghana's independence in 1957.
At long last, the battle has ended. Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. From now on, there is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that, after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Now, I want you all, those who have hats on, to take off your hats and let the band play our national anthem. And from now on, that national anthem is the national anthem of the Gogo, to be played on all occasions.
That's just awesome, right? All right, on to another African leader who deserves great recognition. It's Patrice Lumumba. Duh, the Congolese independence leader had a short-lived life, but a powerful impact on the lives of Congolese during the 20th century. He was Congo's first prime minister, and he helped guide the country to independence from Belgium in 1960. He was a firm believer in Pan-Africanism, and he pushed for Congo's genuine independence. And you know the story. Lumumba was seen as a big threat to Western interests who wanted control over the country's abundant resources. So Belgium, the US, and Britain conspired with Congolese forces to have Lumumba murdered. It's a fact. Check out this clip of Lumumba speaking frankly in front of Belgium dignitaries.
Demain, cette masse demande autre chose que le bien de vote aujourd'hui. C'est le pain, c'est le progrès. À vous tous, mes amis, qui avez lutté sans relâche à nos côtés, je vous demande de faire de ce 30 juillet 1960 une date illustre que vous garderez ineffaçablement gravée dans vos cœurs, une date dont vous enseignerez avec fierté la signification à vos enfants, pour que ceux-ci, à leur tour, fassent connaître à leurs fils et à leurs petits-fils l'histoire glorieuse de notre lutte pour la liberté.
And there's a whole lot more in that speech. Go and try to check it out. All right, we must include Burkina Faso's revolutionary Thomas Sankara, a former military captain. Sankara became president of Burkina Faso at age 33 and immediately embarked on a plan to eliminate corruption and the ideals of former colonial powers. Sankara is most remembered for his revolutionary approach to governing. He implemented programs to fight corruption. He opposed foreign aid and aimed for a self-reliant Africa. He sold off all government fancy cars and replaced them with the time's cheapest. He reduced salaries of the well-off public officials. He lowered his own salary to $450 a month, and the list goes on. Wow, these things are just unheard of, which is why he was murdered in a coup organized by current Burkina Faso President Blaise Compaoré, also Sankara's former colleague. Here's a clip from one of Sankara's famous speeches.
Il y en a qui demandent mais où se trouve l'impérialisme. L'impérialisme, regardez dans vos assiettes quand vous mangez les grains de riz, de maïs, de mil importés. C'est ça l'impérialisme. N'allez pas plus loin.
La France ne comprend pas l'Afrique et il est grand temps qu'elle la comprenne.
Qui ici ne souhaite pas que la dette soit purement et simplement effacée? Celui qui ne le souhaite pas, il peut sortir, prendre son avion et aller tout de suite à la Banque mondiale payer. Tous nous souhaitons. Tchèque appartient à la réaction et à la contre-révolution. Camarades, l'impérialisme, le néocolonialisme, les élèves réactionnaires, les élèves indisciplinés, paresseux, les professeurs carents, les vomissures de la contre-révolution.
All right, the greatest freedom fighter, anti-apartheid revolutionary legend known to Africa is the obvious Nelson Mandela, South Africa's first black president. Mandela spent 27 years in prison as a result of his activism, and because Madiba is such a huge global icon, I can't even patronize any of you by trying to break down his numerous accomplishments. Now, as I wrote this script on Thursday, yesterday, 95-year-old Madiba died at his home after a long battle with a lung infection.
The Africans want the franchise on the basis of one man, one vote. They want political independence.
Do you see Africans being able to develop in this country without the European being pushed out?
We have made it very clear in our policy that South Africa is the country of many races. There is room for all the various races in this country.
And by our celebrations in other parts of our country and the world, confer glory and hope to newborn liberty. Out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long, must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. Our daily duties as ordinary South Africans must produce an actual South African reality that will reinforce humanity's belief in justice, strengthen its confidence in the nobility of the human soul, and sustain all our hopes for a glorious life for all.
We salute Madiba and all of these great African leaders for their courageous activism that led to the freedom of many African nations. And of course, there are several other prominent leaders who contributed to the fight against colonialism and corruption in Africa. You know, it really makes me think about how bad African leadership is today. Stay tuned. Next week, I think I'll take a look at Africa's worst modern-day leaders. Don't go away. There's much more coming up on Sahara TV.